All right, what is up? Welcome back. Another Friday artist chat. This time we got an OG back. Joseph, JK5. He's got the Reggie Jackson card out right now on Topps.com. It's fire.
What's up, everybody?
We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Welcome, man.
Thank you, man. Great to see you again.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, man. We got Eric, Grant, Octavio. Also, I always forget to tell guests this at the beginning, but in StreamYard, are you on the comments? Can you see everybody's comments? Because we can make that a thing.
That would be cool. That'd be dope. I'd love to see that.
Within StreamYard, within StreamYard, in the top right, there's a little comments icon. So click on that, and then when you click on comments, I think you should see everybody's comments. Do you see that?
So in the upper left corner, I've got the little
upper right corner.
Right. I still have Google Chrome notifications that I should just X out, right? Should I close those?
Get rid of all that.
Losing you? Okay, cool. All right. So private chat, comments. Click on comments. There they are.
Bam. Okay, so there you see that, like Brian Gumto. Those back pages, that's Eric, Octavio.
Wins, Grant Gaskill, Brody the Kid, Rebecca, your mom. Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah, what's up, Mom?
In the house. Lovely that you're joining.
Yeah, Brody the Kid, what's going on?
Oh, I see. And then they just pop up and it moves gradually, progressively upward. I see.
Yeah, yep. And then I can actually click on them and I can make them go like that.
Oh,
and we can like highlight that, right? Like, look at that, Edward Johnson, sub JK5 and Blake.
Thank you for all the words and the love and support. Let me just say that as a consensus before we bob and weave in and out of individual responses.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
So great. Now we got you in the chat. You're linked up on a new laptop.
Brand new laptop, man.
That must feel good.
You know what feels good?
What's that?
It's my first laptop since my last laptop, which was a used hand-me-down from my friend Elena's 2010 machine.
Shout out Elena, 2010 machine.
Yeah, that was the last laptop I had. I've been relegated and contained to my phone since the advent of the iPhone, and now it's nice to have a nice new laptop, dude.
Wow, that's amazing. So you get is it a Mac?
It is. Yeah. It's a MacBook Pro. It's a 2020 model.
Woo!
Like the Nimbus 2000.
Yeah.
2000, son. It's rad. It's wonderful, man. It's really smooth. It's silver. It's like a dark gray chrome color. I really like, incidentally, the just the smooth LCD display light up bar at the back of the physical keys.
Yes.
Like adjust the volume and the light quality.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's neat.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, let's start at the beginning.
At the beginning. In the beginning.
Yeah.
With a really ornate.
Yeah. And I think that
letter.
So the cool thing is like the beginning is always this moving thing, right? And we started the beginning last time we did interview, like we chatted, and the last time before that. But now we're like at this new beginning, and that's this red card that dropped today.
Yes.
So I feel like we should walk. I think we should walk through that, and let me see. I wonder. I'm just gonna see if I can pull it up on my screen. If you want to start talking about the card and your inspiration and stuff, I'm gonna see if I can take my face out and put the card in instead of me. But that's gonna take some tinkering. So
all right, man.
Or you want to hold it up, and show it.
No, I don't have it. I'm actually upstairs in a cozy spot in my apartment. If you could ask me questions as opposed to just kind of like leaving me to monologue, that would be
absolutely cool. Okay, you got that. Okay, bunch of pencils, tons of pencils sticking out of lots of pencils. We've seen the pencils in a lot of your work. The Ricky Henderson bat to me is like the most iconic. But
well, in Project 2020, I guess I can start by kind of talking about how the Project70 cards are evolving in their own systemic and stylistic ways, consciously and certainly by design. And 20 cards in 2020 is quite a bit of rehearsal and practice and sort of alignment experience of the brain, the heart, and the hand, and finding, hitting stride and finding your flow and developing all those systems and formulas. I don't know what happened. There's a bunch of windows that just popped up, but you're doing your thing.
I'm trying to like, so this is the card. It's on top.
Oh, I see. Look at you.
See, I'm trying to like, but it.
So to answer your question,
bigger,
right? This is so much fun, man. I love our vibe. We're back. The pencils were the bats, right? They were the substitute or the metaphor, the allegory for what a bat is in baseball to what a drawing tool is to an artist. And just making that parallel, and that was well established in Project 2020. And in Project 70, I think the symbol and the use of them and the form that they take on, and just what they can be as building material, as things that you can construct with, that anything that is a line or a creative tool of any kind, or something that you can build with, can be a pencil. A triangle can be a pencil. A line is a pencil. So there's I think the use of them is just getting more playful and interesting, and I'm trying to really enrich the narrative storytelling and the depth of what these illustrations are becoming. It's important to me that they're evolving in all their own ways. So yeah, man, lots more pencils. And to speak to Reggie specifically, a lot is constructed out of pencils, or there's pencils encrypted in lots more things than just bats, right? Like you see it in the letter forms on the top. You see, I don't know, but no one commented that the words Mr. October are in there at the bottom, and the pumpkin is the O because it's Halloween month. But there's pencils that really just start constructing like they are nails, or they are pieces of wood, if you will. So yeah, just more pencils, y'all.
Yeah. So I love that. So you talked about like the storytelling and stuff, and Clint, I think, had a good question asking you about the philosophy that you put in your companion cards. So I think like that's really interesting, looking at like, you tell the story in the card. Sorry, busy street corner.
NYC, Brooklyn noise.
Yeah. What's up, little Blake? Blake G in the house.
Oh, hi, little Blake, little buddy.
Yeah.
Your family, Grice, Austin, the Grice family, Austin, the brother, Barry, the father. Yeah. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah, they're great.
Love Blake.
Yeah. Yeah. So like taking that storytelling that you're bringing into the cards, and then continuing in it with the companion cards and expanding on that like universe and those, those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clint just wanted me to like talk about like kind of your philosophy of like expanding the story with the companion cards.
Oh yeah. Well, the companion cards are just a vehicle to introduce my own intellectual property and my own unique mythology and ideas that are sort of catalyzed by an element in the card. Or like my third companion card was simply my interpretation of an angel, right? Because Mike Trout was California Angel, and my angel just kind of got Boba Fettified with a yin-yang afro, and lots of pencils and eyes became the anatomy of the wings, and I did my thing with the word angel. So the first few companion cards were just riffs, as if it was the next cell or the next frame in a graphic novel, if you will, right? And then I started introducing, with sort of this stylistic evolution, the Flowbots, which is a series of 3-inch vinyl action figures I produced with Kid Robot in 2007, and I'm bringing them back through the vehicle of the companion card for, gratefully, this whole new audience and collector world. So I have a companion card coming out fairly soon, not exactly sure when, but it's going to be number 5, and it's going to be another Flowbot. It's a character that I created in 2005 called JK5. He's
You
the
sound
ghost.
badass.
He's the ghost elf knight of chivalry and elegant design. And
Oh,
one arm is a pen that says mightier, and the other arm's a sword. And he's ghost elf knight. You'll see.
dope. And is that so? Who is that companion paired with? Or which card is that paired with?
Good question.
Or is it paired with? It could be paired with an era, like a paired with a collection, right? You know, you could do.
Oh, it was paired. It was intentionally paired with, I feel like, my Clemente card, because the Knights of the Crusade, or his love of Catholicism, and what a Christian he was, and what I think I just drew some parallels there, but I'm really not sure about the rhythm and the rollout of the companion cards yet, man. Reggie dropped yesterday. That's my second card. I'm almost done with number 5, so it feels good, man. I'm ahead of the game. I've got a really good pace going. And good question. Good. Thank you for saying what you said about the companion cards, because they're just it's just a smart vehicle to introduce your own universe. Like what Alex Pardee dropped today was so ill. I mean,
dude, I bought one of the NFTs. I bought one of the NFTs. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's funny because, like, if a companion card dropped and cost like $750 per card, that would seem like way too much money. But like, it dropped and it was 0.3 Ethereum, which is about $7,500 or sorry, $750. And I'm like, yeah, that's super cheap. I'm buying that. And so I bought one.
Cool, man. Ethereum.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
it's a whole new language I'm learning. Yeah. I'm working on some, and I can, reveal the information when the time is right. But I'm entering that space myself, and it's the Wild West. It's a new form. It's a new space, and I think it's really interesting what a non fungible token is.
Yeah, non-fungible token, bro.
Is it fungible or fungible?
I think it's fungible.
If you're talking about mushrooms, it's fungible. If you're talking about teas, it's fungible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's pretty wild. And look, I think that, like, you and I both know, like, there's things that we can't, projects that we're working on that we can't talk about that are exciting. But I think, like, conceptually, NFTs are exciting to me beyond just, like, I think in the short term, like making some NFTs and capitalizing on the fact that they're super hot and selling well, which I think is cool. And like, artists should be doing, if they have like the capacity to do it, I think that they should, they should try. But I'm excited about, like, kind of this long-term, like, evolution of the NFT and what that, like, ends up meaning in 2022. Cause I think it's going to look a lot different than it does now.
Yes, it'll evolve. It's going to have a life of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, this is actually, this is
something to understand about it.
Yeah. And this is something to, like, that I can talk about. And I wanted to tell you about, but, so I'm doing like a free NFT for people on my email list. And we like already ran it where we said, we're going to do it up to this date. And then we gave people time to, like, add their MetaMask wallet to kind of complete their profile.
What's that word?
I'm sorry?
What's that word? MetaMask?
Oh, sorry. MetaMask. So MetaMask is
I know Meta and Mask. I've never heard MetaMask before.
Okay. This is
like Mr. Incredible's friend or something.
Yeah. So MetaMask is a digital wallet, and it follows you around the internet. And it could be carrying your digital currency like Ethereum or Bitcoin, or, well, MetaMask can't carry Bitcoin, but Ethereum is the main one that, like, NFTs are built on right now. It also holds your NFTs. So, like, if I buy somebody's NFT on one platform that's linked into my MetaMask, and then I go and log in with my MetaMask to a different platform, I'll still be able to see all my stuff.
Ah, interesting.
Right? So it's the digital wallet, and that follows you around.
Wild.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And like,
We'll talk about that off camera, man. Soon.
no, we will. And you know that like
it's a huge learning curve for me now, you know.
Yeah. You know, the crazy thing too is like the royalties. The
Mm.
royalties of NFTs, like how it's like built, like, you know, if you sell a painting to somebody or a baseball card, you sell a baseball card to somebody, and if they go sell that to somebody else, you're not going to see any of that action. That's them, right? But in the NFT world, if you sell an NFT to somebody and then they sell it to somebody else, the original artist is going to get a kickback, a royalty, and that's for life. And it's like super transparent and like really, that's like a huge benefit.
Yeah, yeah.
So like my thinking is like, okay, well, if I just give out a ton of NFTs for free, and then I'm going to tie it to something like in the future to make people like want them in the future. So for a literally direct example, I'm giving away about 1,000 free NFTs to people on my email list. And each of those come like once somebody owns it, they have this like unlockable content. And part of it is this special link. And if they use that special link on June 1st of this year, 2021, they can like redeem that for something in the physical world. So like my thinking is like, I'm going to get these out there for free. People are going to like hit like, for example, the 1 of 1 gold, because it's all like, it's still like levels. It's just like the tops thing, right? The people that get the 1 of 1 gold, like get a physical painting, but they don't get it until June 1st. So my hope is that like before June 1st, that trades hands a bunch of times. And every time it trades hands, I get a small royalty. And like, that might end up being small or nothing. And if it's like a social experiment, it cost me 1 painting, but like
interesting parallels.
It's fascinating, man. And I definitely like, I want to go deep with you.
Sounds complex, you know, sounds complex.
It is.
Juncture for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, that's like, I'm trying to like think of NFTs and then like push like all of the boundaries that like I hope are possible or I think are possible and like see what happens. I think like on, you know, there's all different scales. Like in the meantime, I've been selling individual NFTs across several different marketplaces, just like to collectors and promoting them on social media. And it's pretty dope, man. I've met a lot of really cool people.
Yeah, we have to rap about it.
Dude. And you like
conversation forthcoming, much larger.
Yes. And like your art, like is just going to kill.
Oh man, thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say.
Crush. It's like, it's so well suited and it's so deep and like, I'm excited, man.
Cool. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Yeah. I don't know. Project 20 was such a unique embodiment. It really changed my life. And then there was just so much change happening in the larger world. And I've just been able to stay home and really focus on my work like never before. Not that I, you know, wasn't mostly focused on my work and really productive and prolific over the last 20 years, but, you know, I just stay home and work, man. My studio's at home. Got a wonderful relationship. I've got a dope apartment now. We love where we are, Clinton Hill, BK. You're so close.
Yes.
And there's a lot to say about momentum and speed and rhythm and real experience and repetition with a body of work and a series, and where you find yourself with your sensibilities and your systems and your styles. And again, the stories you really want to tell, and how important it is for me that Project 70 speaks on just that many more levels to what I really want to say and who I want to say it to. You know, there's an amazing communicative capacity within this vehicle and this format for us as artists that I think it encompasses a lot, right? And just like Instagram, just like who you are as a human being, certainly your responsibility as an artist, it all comes down to your content and your intent, right? And like I said, I'm 5 deep with these new cards. I can maybe drop a few hints or something, but you know, well, you can ask me some questions, man. We'll see. Maybe we'll get into it. Take
We'll
some
do frame
questions from the studio audience.
Yeah, we got to get them from the studio audience for sure.
I
You
love
guys,
this.
what?
Yeah.
So what should we do? Is it going to be like, like yes or no question? It can't just be like, are you doing? Well, they could ask like it's about a team, or let's just see what they come up with. Actually,
I'm not going
to put them in a box. I'm not going to tell them how to ask their questions. We'll just let them ask the questions they ask.
Yeah. I'm curious, is there anything else that you wanted to ask or vibe and chat about the Reggie card or the Vlad card, since those are the only two that are out there?
Oh man, that Vlad card. It's crazy because like
I love that guy was my first.
Your drops were far apart.
42 days to be exact.
That's crazy, man.
That's
a lot of days.
A long time for a ego and us sensitive human beings, as artists to wait to re-engage with everybody again. But you just have to, you have to trust. And I know that the rate of the droppage is going to increase. There's going to be more cards daily for the next round, and my next card is already sort of half that time. My next card drops in half the time, and that increment that my first card took.
I'm trying to look.
But Vlad was super fun, man.
Yeah. So what? And Vlad did really well, which is awesome because it was right at the. You were like opening. That was like the opening set. Like
the project started the 17th. My Vlad dropped February 19th.
Right. So like I don't know. Like it's funny because like I know like it was Ben Baller, I think, and Ski and somebody else on the.
He and I dropped together.
Ermsey also dropped.
Oh, I love Ermsey.
Like, you dropped super early. That like to me, I think of like you and Ermsey is like all of you guys is like the first the first drop, and so it's crazy that like that did really well for its time, and like even since then we've seen like crazy things happen. Like Alex Pardis come out like crazy, with this trout. They're like I think
super inspiring. He's really
I think. Yeah.
I love what Alex is doing, and shout out to Alex Pardis, man. His stuff is he calls them brightmares, and what a hybrid, what a synthesis, what a concept, right? They're bright, they're cheerful, they're playful, they're imaginative, they're rendered and executed so beautifully in such a refined way, but they're creepy and scary and weird as fuck, right? Like he's got a lot going on. He and I were part of a show together, a 3-person show with this other artist, John Bergerman, at
that dude
machine in 2012 or 2010 or something. So it's nice to reconnect with him and other artists that I've known and really dug for years through this project.
Oh, I've totally seen John Bergerman's work as well, and that makes sense. Like looking at that, like you guys are all
curated it. It was the 3 of us. It was cool.
Yeah. Wow, that would have been a great show. And that was like, when was that?
2012. Yeah.
Oh man.
I had 3 24 by 28 acrylic paintings on birchwood panels, and then about 40 small frame black scratch boards that either revealed a rainbow gradient or this sort of iridescent sparkle line, like a kid's kit with the wooden stylus. I did hundreds of those years, and they sold well at shows, and it was a nice bridge between my sketchbook process and styles and aesthetics and painting on wood panel, which was really meticulous and laborious, But that was a fun show, man. I love what Pardis doing, man. He's just it's so tight, and he's adjusted to this world and his alternate baseball universe. It's just conceptual, and he's really smart, and he's sick with the iPad Pro or whatever technology he's using. But I know he draws manually and paints too. But that was it's been interesting, man. 51 artists. It's a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely a standout, man. To be honest, like I think, have you ever messed with like an iPad Pro and a stylus? I know you're very like analog, right?
Yeah, super analog.
Very analog dude.
Really old school, man. I'm doing each Topps card on a single piece of paper that's blue paint taped to a clipboard that my dad had in the 60s, and I use the same one, and I use Micron. I use a range of Micron pen points, and then I'm using these really beautiful Prismacolor markers right now, and sometimes acrylic, sometimes colored pencil, sometimes graphic, but they're all by hand. And average between 20 and 50 hours each of
Yeah.
manual work. But I wanted to say, with the new laptop, it was sort of like a treat to myself after so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I got iPads for my kids a few years ago, but I got a sweet iPad with Procreate as well.
Yes.
And I'm dipping my toe in that digital water. But I have to say, there's nothing day to day that gets me to want to practice more, man. I'm still, I mean, I'm 50. I've been drawing by hand for 45 years. So it's going to take a little time, but I've played around with it, man. And it's really amazing. I mean, my homie BJ Betts is an amazing letterist and typographer, amazing tattoo artist in the Midwest. And he has all kinds of brushes. And there's like, really, I mean, it's endless. My son has been doing really dope, beautiful stuff on it. And of course, kids 12 and 8, man, it's like it's in their DNA, like Minority Report style, right? Like, whoop,
yeah, man, dude. I think that I mean, look, even if you like drew something analog, photographed it, and I've seen like Alex does this, where he'll draw even like his Acuna card. He drew it out, pencil on paper.
Yeah, you saw his process.
Yeah, and then he like screenshot it, and then he kind of traced it, and then like. And it's funny because I have an iPad Pro as well, and I have the same thing where like I have this amazing thing. I have Procreate.
It's quite a toy, man.
I can't find time to play with it. The only time that I did play with it is I drew something analog, and then I just took a screenshot of it, and then like I was sitting in bed and I was like tracing it, and then I kept tracing it over and over again, and then hiding that layer, or like hiding the original layer and tracing my trace, and then tracing and I kind of abstracted it, and it was super fun.
That's a cool exercise. That's a great place to start.
But yeah, like,
thinking about my line drawings, just photographing those, importing those, tracing to practice, playing with all the different brushes.
Yeah.
The thing that's overwhelming for me, and my ADD and ADHD and my kind of hyper focus, like that range, I need just parameters, man. If I said, I'm using it for only this, this, and this, and I'm going to sequentially do this, 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 and this, and I'm only going to use these 3 brushes, and I'm only going to color. That's what I need. I just need to set up real structure for myself. Otherwise, it's so vast, and you get really overwhelmed with possibilities, right? But that's one thing I did. My boy Jason, homie from art school, who is an amazing manual draftsman. Sick artist, and he's embraced technology years and years ago and just taught himself, just playing around, but he keeps it in a very contained, formulaic, process based box for himself. And we've had a few sessions where it's like iPad Procreate 101, and that's what we did. We took a few line drawing photos and brought them in and just started playing around, but we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because like for me, thinking about going digital, like at least with analog, and I haven't, I imagine for you it's even to the nth degree because you've been doing this a lot longer than me. But like, if I want to make a texture shape thing that like that I have in my head, like I already know what tools I need to use analog and like how to do it. And like, obviously I'll try to say, oh, I'm going to try and make some shape I don't know how to make. And like, I'll push those boundaries. But like, I have this framework of like, okay, well, if I want a super straight line, I'm going to use this tape. And if I want a thin line, I'll use this pen and this, whatever. As soon as I go digital, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I want like a kind of fat line. And then I'm like, I don't know how to, like, it's just like,
what's the sharp line weight? What's the flare line weight? What's the micron line weight? I know.
Yeah. So that's a tough thing, man. It's the learning curve. And I know I got to push past it, but
there's a lot to say, but I really think for our sensibilities and the kind of humans that you and I are, our vibe, our generation, I think it has a lot to do with your age and kind of what tools you've been working with for so long. But it's I just love the physical world, man. I love books. I love magazines. I
Mhm.
love what paper looks like when it's 20 years old.
Right.
You know, and yeah, it's exciting. And what's mind blowing to me is that you just integrate it into your arsenal, and it just becomes new. There's new vision. Again, it's always about your intent, your content, your vision, and what you do with those tools. But like integrating them into different stages, like opening up some space and using it in different ways at different points of your process
Mhm.
until things are ultimately realized. It's super exciting, man. I want to do some crazy quick line drawings and just get my lines tight and start coloring with those brushes and things, you know. My
Yeah.
son was a wizard with it, like immediately.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a minority port. It's in them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's
But I wouldn't know where to start looking at my Reggie card. I wouldn't know how to translate that soup to nuts digitally. It would really just be a tool along the way, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
But
It's fun to think about. So 5 cards down, 15 to go.
almost done with the fifth one.
Almost done with the 5th.
Mhm.
Man, what can you give us any teasers about upcoming players, like a hint, and then we can like try and guess who it is?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, my next player, how do I say this? Let's see. He has a raw, extraordinary human story, a rags to riches story,
Okay.
and
Okay. All right. Well, we got to get some guesses. I
stupid hints.
but I kind of want to do some Googling.
Oh, dude, I'm so. The next two are just deeper associative conceptual narrative journeys.
Deeper associated conceptual narrative journeys. I love
Yeah,
that.
that I worked really hard on, that I'm excited to reveal. What I'm associating with the third one, and what it became, is maybe the craziest and richest to date. And the next one has a literary reference, to something, to a beloved book that I hope people appreciate and dig the source.
Nice.
But
We're getting a bunch of
a lot of questions. I want to keep some of the comments.
So we got Babe Ruth, Yasiel Puig, Barry Bonds, Joe Kelly, which I think Joe Kelly is a pretty good guess. Carlos Carrera, Eloy Jimenez. Yeah, Joe Kelly. Somebody else said, "Good job, Joe Kelly."
They're all good guesses, man. I can't reveal anything.
Yeah, no, just keep it tight.
I like the guesses. Oh man, John 05 MBA. I am so confused.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome, man. What are okay? So I remember with Project 2020.
Yeah,
I think the originals. A single collector got them, purchased them all from you. Do you have a plan for the originals for P70 cards?
we've got some ideas, but we don't really have a solid plan yet. We'll see how it goes.
Got it. But yeah, you're maintaining possession so far.
Yeah, so far.
Good.
So far. My Project 20 series sold to a gentleman who I've become good friends with, who I think is a really wonderful person, and we're cultivating some projects together.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man, 3 cards deep into Project 2020, he reached out. We had the conversation. It was just really well timed, and he made me an offer, and he had all 20 very early on in the project. So
Yeah.
They all
And
went to him
isn't
when
it
they
cool, like when you have a collector like that, that like, I mean, it sounds like you guys will have a relationship that'll continue, and it's like having a new patron, and he's invested. He's like literally invested in your success, and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I would bet, and I have no idea, you know, what the financials look like, but I bet that he got them at like a great value,
Oh yeah.
and you know, for you, still like a win-win, right? Because it's already work that you're doing, and you're getting the card sale royalties, you're doing the autos, and like adding another layer to that monetization is dope, right?
Yes.
So
Well,
like, it's like
when he
a
made the
super
offer,
win-win.
I really needed the bread, and it was a
Right.
generous offer in the context of where we were in the world and where I was at the time.
Right.
Financially, and I've got 2 kids, and I needed that scratch, and I had
Yeah.
a really good vibe from him, and he was a gentleman about the whole thing, and a really cool guy. He's he's a luminary in the collector world and the toy world, actually, and a lovely guy, and we've got some cool plans. We're working on some cool shit.
That's awesome. Well, he's got an eye for talent because like he got in at such a good time.
I
You know,
agree.
like, because none of us, right? Like even you and I, like we wouldn't have known back whenever that happened, and you made that happen. Like
Mhm.
we would have thought that a year from then, like we'd be sitting here, right, talking about our next tops, like the second tops project, and
Oh,
you know,
totally,
like it's
totally.
pretty wild. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what unfolded was unfathomably, um, you know, predictable just in the world, and how wildly successful the project was, and how it really was a serious game changer for a lot of the artists, man. I mean, he had never seen my work before in any form, and discovered it through these Topps cards, and became a fan, you know.
Yeah, and you're getting more of those every day. Still.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I have to say that the growing fan base and audience, as it just expands so naturally and reliably, is a gift. Thank you, each and every one of you, man. And I really do love I mean, I love people, man. I love our species, and I love getting down with people individually. I try and respond intimately and one-on-one when I can. And yeah, man, you know, Blake Rice,
Yeah, little Blake.
year-old, and his family, like that's what it's about. It's like, it's just meeting cool people that really dig what we're doing for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And we're bringing them joy, and they're really excited to engage with us. And you know, I remember what collecting baseball cards was like as a kid, and there's it's just it's a new world. There's new dimensions. There's that cross-pollination between art and baseball cards, and it's the collector market. And there's, you know, as we talked about when I was on your show that first time, man, there's just so many layers to it. There really are. And each layer is something we can completely design and engage in, and embrace, and cultivate in some interesting way, you know. Even just the support and the camaraderie among the artists. Like, I remember, you know, doing a little, because I write everything before I do my voiceovers for my videos.
Right.
And I, you know, Topps wanted us.
I love those, man. It's so
Oh, thank you, man.
So cool.
It's
So
it
cool, dude.
was my manager's idea, and it's a part of my nerdy ass self that I've been wanting to kind of cultivate and nurture for a long time. And I'm able to speak from the heart, and I'm able to use my voice, and I'm able to speak in the language that is another facet of the work, right? It's another facet of who I am, and hopefully how I can, you know, inspire and entertain folks. But when I was writing that "Hi, this is who I am, this is what I do" thing that Topps wanted us to do for Project 20, for Project 70, I just remember how good and earnest I felt saying, "What up to all the new artists? Welcome everybody," but you know, like, welcome all the new artists, and what up all the returning grandfathered in 2020 artists, because you know, we made some good friends, man, in a really dark time when no one's able to hang out. And I think that's just evolved in this really human, really wonderful way.
Yeah. Man, it's been wild, man. And it's crazy. Like with 51 artists, like
Whoa.
I feel like I've made an effort, as I see cool stuff or I get introductions or I kind of opportunities, like I'm reaching out to people and building relationships, and I've gotten close with a handful of them, but like it's tip of the iceberg because they're still like cards are dropping, because by this time in Project 2020, a card would drop and like I could pretty much tell who it was. I think, I don't know, maybe not by second drop, right? But maybe by like third or fourth drop, like I knew who every artist was. And every once in a while, I think some artists experiment, and that was fun to see. Like artists push their own boundaries. Their card would come out, and I was like, "Wait, is that? Oh yeah, that is that person." But in general, I knew who it was. Still now to this day, like unless it's an OG 2020 artist or like one of maybe 10 artists that I've like actually kind of connected with in this set, like I don't know who it is.
Right.
And that's we still have a lot to go. So I guess
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons for that, man. 51 is a lot of artists. A lot of it is hard to differentiate. I think there's a faction of artists that have very distinct visuals and approaches. It's a lot of different aesthetics, and styles, to put it simply, to get to know. There's a lot to say about the difference between 20 and that sort of family that we became, and that crew and that curated roster, and 31 more.
Right. But like even within that 20, and this is I take full responsibility. Like I regret that I wasn't more proactive in like contacting all of the artists from the project. Like I tried on all of them, but like a lot of the guys, some of the guys were really big and like weren't following me, so they didn't see my message, and like I never really tried again. But like even guys like Grotesque and Joshua Vides or Vides, I'm not sure which.
I don't know how to pronounce
Old Man Allen, like Old Man Allen I talked to a little on Instagram DM, but like there's just like there was still like a third of the people from 2020 like I haven't gotten close with yet, and now we're adding like we're 3xing that number.
That's a good point. I think it's just energy and communication. I mean, I think people that gravitated towards one another during Project 2020 built some great friendships and stayed in really good touch. And I don't know the ratio or the math, but maybe it was a third of the 2020 artists that I even engaged with, because they engaged with me, or we supported one another, or there was reciprocity with compliments, or I don't know, just saying what up,
Totally.
And even now, it's interesting. I mean, I'm with you, man. There's like a third of the original crew that I'm really stoked to just keep building with. And those are the people that, that we kind of just found each other and built on that energy and just kept in touch, because it takes two to tango. There's only a few that I've been in conversation with that I just met through Project 70. And then there's definitely a handful that I'd like to engage with, and maybe we've chimed in, a little bit, and then there's just a few, very few artists that I really love that are now a part of Project 70. It's a really interesting list.
There's
a lot of OGs, there's a lot of heavy hitters, and then there's just tons of new people, and younger people, and people that have been doing their thing while we've been doing our thing, and they happen to be just kind of coming up. That's what's so wild, right? Like people are always just coming up.
It's awesome, man. A revolving door.
There's a lot of interesting stuff happening, man. A lot of stuff happening this round.
Who's on the topic relevant?
Yes.
Of all the artists in 1951, who's an artist that you weren't aware of before this project that you found through here that like wows you the most? So like for me, it's easy. Like I didn't know Alex Pardee, but I should have. But like he's super dope, and like accomplished in his own right. But like he blew me away. But even like I think if going beyond that, like Chuck Styles, I love Chuck's work.
This stuff's dope. Yeah,
so dope.
Agreed.
Is there anything like that jumped out to you?
Yes, I think Lauren Taylor's work is really beautiful and really strong.
Yeah.
She and I have had some really nice conversations. She has a really inspiring story. She's been through a lot. I don't know how much she shared with you. And we've just had some really sweet, intelligent conversations over the DMs. Slid into each other's DMs. Let's see. Ermsey I was aware of through homies and through maybe some of his graphics on t-shirts through some friends, and I was aware of some of his street art before Project70. I'm sorry, before 2020, but I love what he did in 2020.
Yeah.
And now in 70, I just love his work. He and I struck up a dialogue maybe halfway through 2020, and now we wrap in the DMs fairly regularly. Let's see. Future is an old legend. I think his are beautiful and really classic looking. I was really interested to see what he was going to use from his vocabulary, you know. Let's see.
I love Michael B. Did you know that guy before?
I didn't know him before.
Dude, I like followed him for a long time, and it's funny because
see a lot of them right now, and then we could certainly talk about it.
Yeah, he does these. He's done some really big abstract, kind of geometric abstract murals, and I discovered him around the same time I discovered Gregory Siff. They're both LA guys, and like so I've been following him for a long time, and then 2020 connected me with Gregory, and now
what's up, Gregory Siff?
Yeah, what's up, Gregory? And then Gregory, like I told Gregory, I was like, oh man, last year I was so excited to meet you. This year I really want to meet this guy. Because I know like they're both in LA. He's like, oh, I know Michael. I'll introduce you. So he like put us on a text chain. Like I'm really excited to chat with him. You know, we've had just very like, surface stuff so far. But I would love to like get him on one of these. But yeah, man, that's
what it's about, man. I mean,
it's cool.
We're an interconnected family, and we're interconnected in a lot of intricate ways. And it's cool when artists introduce you to other artists, and you just it's just that much more unified. It's cool. He wins a lot of people, but let me think. I can stay on that subject for a second. I love what Ski and I had a great interview. I was on his show a while back, and I didn't know he was going to be part of 70. Maybe he didn't either, but my manager and homies knew him well and put us in touch and set up that interview. And I love what he did with that Nas Illmatic cover.
Dude, he killed it with that. He's also doing still good with the community.
It was really smart. What?
Like with the community stuff, like taking it beyond, like Alex with the companions cards, with the stories.
Oh,
like
that's a whole other
that same thing, right?
Entrepreneurial with this. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, like the playlists. Like to me, like Ski and Pardee are like putting on a clinic and a blueprint for the whole class. That's like how I see it, both in terms of like the way they're wrapping it in a whole package, and it's really fun to see, right when
it's cohesive. There's a kit.
Yeah, right.
They're like really conscious, consummate consumers that are now becoming marketers of the product. Like you can tell that Pardee grew up with baseball cards and wacky packs and Garbage Pail Kids and Amazing Toys and 70s and 80s and 90s pop cultural ephemera. And he's carved his own universe out of that, much like I have in my own way. And this project is, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's really all about your own merchandising and your own product and your own presentation and delivery and offerings, right? And merchandise. Like I've got a lot of stuff in the works that I'm trying to weave in and out and kind of correlate with my drops that that's kind of just getting cooking. So I love that you said that, man. Those two, it's rad because that's what Ski comes from. I didn't know he was a visual artist. Maybe he didn't either.
Right.
Like what's Snoop doing? Is he Is it his son with the iPad? Like, who's doing that? Is he doing
Right.
it?
Right.
You know, and even like, is it Jeff Staple or Bobby Hundreds that are doing that like nuanced mistake element thing?
Bobby Hundreds.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the error cards. That's
It's
like, it's a fun thing, right? Like, it's a
cool.
new.
It's just it's a vehicle. It's a blank slate that can be so many things, especially to build your brand as an artist.
Yeah.
And do it the right way, you know.
Yeah. My dad mentioned another one who I actually really love.
Hi, Mr. Jamieson.
I think it's Posse. I think it's Posse, but yeah, I mean, that's
Pose.
Is it is it Pose? Oh, I thought it was Posse. I don't know.
I always knew him as Pose. Also,
no, I don't know him as anything. I found him.
I have to say this. Speaking of Posse versus Pose, tomato. I thought it was Old Manaland.
I know. Yeah.
I didn't break it down. I didn't break it into Old Man Allen. I just said, Old Manaland. That's his alias.
No, the funny thing is I called him that too. And yes,
really? You pronounce it that way. That's
good. And like Pose did, so he did like he had the Ricky Henderson.
Tender J is his Instagram.
What is it?
Tender J is his.
Yeah, Instagram. Tender J. Yeah, exactly. He's so sick, and he did it as a giant mural, and then took a photo and took that on a tablet and made the digital version. Did you see his process video?
Oh, sick! I didn't know that.
Yeah, he painted Ricky like really big on a wall, but it was almost like his sketch of the card, and then he took a picture of it on his iPad, and he finished it on a traced it and then redid it on a tablet and made the card. But man, it was really sick. In fact, I sent that to my roommate Andy, and then Andy's like, "This is my new favorite artist."
Yeah, Pose. He's amazing.
Yeah, sick. So it is Pose. Okay, so I was saying Posse.
I say Pose.
Pose. Yeah.
Pose.
Just call him Oze and say the P silent. I don't know.
So the artist formerly known as O's with a P. So many aliens. So many aliens. So many.
His work is really fun. And it's cool because so he did that Ricky with like the glasses, and like I have a Ricky picture with the glasses that I just painted.
Nice.
There. I guess it's okay. Good. It's not. Yeah, I'm gonna leak that soon. That's actually like my fifth card drop, but
cool.
I gotta let the internet know.
Ricky Henderson.
Cool. Yeah, my Ricky. Yeah.
You didn't hear it here.
This message
destruct in 5 seconds.
Yeah. This is not the Ricky that you're looking for.
This is not the Ricky Henderson you're looking for.
Yeah.
You go about your business.
That's awesome, bro.
Move along.
Nice, man. Well, dude, this has been a blast. It always is. It's always fun. Dude, so we're so close. Like, we got to do one of these in person one of these days.
It's just some pandemic shit, man. I would love to. We've made a valiant effort a few times so far.
No, I know. We'll get there. We'll get there.
This spring, for sure. I would love it.
Yeah. No, I think
it's been so fun, man. I didn't even get to read the comments. Does anybody we could wrap it up however you want. I'm just finally
let's get some fan ideas in there. Yeah, just reading back. Have you watched any baseball since opening day? I saw Buster Posey hit a home run. That was cool.
Nice. I haven't. I was working all day. I had a really intense drawing session today. I've got this quick turnaround deadline for these NFTs, and all will be revealed in time.
Do you? And if you don't know this, or if you can't say this, then that's fine. But do you know where you're going to release them? Where we'll be able to find them?
I'll let you know as soon as I'm able, man.
Okay. All right. Fair. Sorry, I don't mean to push.
No worries. No pushing.
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. All will be revealed.
Yeah.
Fairly soon too.
Tim wants some more Mets players. Do you have any Mets in your lineup?
I do.
Yeah.
I grew up going to just as many Mets games as I did Yankee games as a kid in the 70s and 80s. It's interesting. Choosing the players was a cool process because I chose the ones I knew and loved, certainly the 70s Yankees, and I knew and loved some other characters from other teams, but I haven't really followed baseball, to be honest, since the mid-80s I appreciate it. My family are freaks for baseball. My
Right.
nephew was an amazing baseball player in high school, and now football. Now he's off to college. But my management team are big sports geeks. They're just nerds, and they know the world of it inside and out in a modern context, you know?
Right.
And they help me curate and round out my list. But yes, there will be a Met in
Nice.
my lineup coming up. But my next one is coming. Let's just say it's coming.
This seems like another clue.
It's a clue.
Okay.
Yes.
Brody the Kid says we need some White Sox.
Do I have any White Sox?
I don't think I have any White
I don't
Sox.
have any White Sox.
No Luck All Star says do Toronto Blue Jay.
I did. It's my
He
first
says-
card.
Well, he says, "Oh, Toronto Blue Jay champion Ricky Henderson." Oh, Ricky is the Toronto Blue Jay. Would be
I
I did in Brooklyn. Yeah, you did do a Blue Jay already.
I did a Blue Jay.
Yeah, you sure did. Would love to see a White Sox player. Technically, Ricky was a Met. Cool. Yeah, I mean, Ricky was on a lot of teams. I do him as A's though. I do have Mark McGuire that I'm doing as a Cardinal because I did Mark. Well,
Oh, cool.
yeah, so that should be fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I'm excited for a lot. Also, do you know? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Oh man, the guy that threw a no hitter on LSD.
Oh, right.
You know who I mean?
Yes. Not Fernando Valenzuela. What's his name?
No go. Okay, here I got it. No going.
Such an insane story.
There we go, Doc Ellis. Yeah. So I had Topps didn't have the rights, but they talked to his estate and were able to get them. So I've secured Doc Ellis. I'm very excited about that.
You're gonna do his acid trip?
No, I'm just gonna do. They actually told me, they warned me. They're like, don't make the painting too wild. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go. I wouldn't go full JK5 on it. I'm not capable.
Are my pieces like acid trips?
Yeah, man, you got it. Maybe that should be like a collab card. I would be open to that. You might be, because
Let's talk about that.
That could be fun.
That could be fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I've kind of got this structure. This is also an interesting thing after going through Project 2020. Now looking at coming into Project 70, I have a totally different approach. I kind of have these staple things that I have in each card that I'm trying to tie them all together with. And I actually think there could be an interesting angle there, which I'll connect with you offline. But
yeah, I'm down. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
because let's just say I'm really focused on the game of my own evolution and enriching these cards with a deeper conceptual narrative language, like I said earlier. But for Project 70, I'm trying to be really consistent with what I include, but it evolves and changes and adapts to all the source material that's simply contained within each player's world, you know? So John, ask JK5 about the colors. Will there be more or less color in his cards in the P70 set? Each one's its own thing, man. I will say some are going to be more colorful, but I'm approaching color in all new ways this time. So I don't know if I'm going to go black and white again necessarily, but I really do like monotone and monochrome and using gradations of a few colors. So you'll see
last year,
limited palette.
I loved last year when you did I don't remember what card the first one was. and then the Willy, and then like when you got Ichiro and you brought the sun in.
My
And then,
first
like,
dot red, man.
like, yeah, like that was like iconic in my book. That was really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. My first dot of red, and then
It was like the sun rising on the horizon, and then it just shines color on the whole set.
that's right.
It was fun, man.
Nicely put.
I think, like, dude, if we could make like some of your early cards, the ones that are mostly line work, like coloring book,
yeah.
boy.
Oh, that's sort of that's an idea that I'm cooking up.
Good.
Because they're all pencil to ink to color.
Yeah.
And I document them really well digitally.
Right.
So I've had a lot of people request and think it would be a really dope idea to do a coloring book or a series of prints that's just the ink line work. And then people can just have fun with them.
Yeah.
It's something I love that idea, and
I would love that.
You guys happy. Yeah. Cool, man. Ichiro Red Dot Incredible. Yeah. That's a very JK5
the Willy Mays too.
What other kind of answer would it be, man? No Luck All-Star. That's a very JK5 answer. I know how to answer another way. I love these comments. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's been super fun, Blake, as always, man. I hope that no, I'm just looking at I'm just like going off on a tangent. One final thing I'll say about my Project 70 approach and the systems therein is I like that they're asking us to allude somehow to the Topps border design decade, right? And I'm really trying to integrate that and play with that in a sort of anachronistic way, and mixing up, just like always mixing up sort of visual language time periods in ways and adhering to that structure. Because for me, like, Vlad's a super modern player. What a jolly vibe that guy has. He's super ripped. He lost all this weight for the new season. I did some homework on him. His dad was really profound, and I loved his dreads with the blonde tips. And he's has mad modern. Such swag, such dope style.
Yeah.
But the card is a 1951 card. So you have a traditional portrait, an action figurative stance, right? Like the mascot, the graphic, the logo, and then lots of typographical information. So they're subtle, and my shit's just getting kind of more encrypted and crazier, and maybe even more dense in some ways, but always look for the border design being honored.
Yeah.
Some
exposed in the Reggie,
the sort of deconstructed way, but for all y'all out there. Yeah.
Right. So in your Reggie, you've got the 2004, which has kind of the mini portrait in the bottom left.
That was my tangent. You see that? Look, that's the little Reggie there with the mustache.
I know. And you know what? I recognize it because I have, I was going to do a 2004 card too. It was supposed to be Derek Jeter. And I even I designed the stencil. I have it all like laid out.
Right.
But I think I'm going to cut Jeter from my set and call some audibles, because like I'm trying to
call some audibles.
Yeah, trying to switch it up a little bit. We'll see. I might switch somebody else, because like I want to add Mantle, for example.
Just secure the rights.
Exactly. And like, if I get a chance to make a Mickey Mantle card, you don't pass that up.
You don't.
Even if that means you got to scrap Jeter. Sorry.
You know what? We should give a shout out to all kids with autism. Our boy, little Blake's brother, Austin. Apparently today's a day for autism awareness or something like that. Yep. He's a new buddy. He does the reviews on the Daily Blakedown. We all love him. But I just want to say that as soon as I heard you say Mickey Mantle, his dad was just texting me earlier, and I posted, I edited and posted his review of my Reggie card because it was adorable and so endearing. And that kid's got such rad little style in the way that he's becoming this announcer, sort of narrator, right? Yeah. But his brother is a huge Mickey Mantle fan, and just much love to the Grice family.
Yeah. Yeah, and the card that he made of like the mantle kind of inspired card. That was
Yes.
in the group chat. That was so cool.
Oh yeah, it was a photo of him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Barry suggesting that maybe we find a way to like make that an NFT and then use that to raise money for for autism awareness.
We can talk about that.
I think
Soon, man. We're gonna hang. We got a lot of conversations to have off camera.
I know, man. We got so many things.
It's a real pleasure, man.
It's been great, man. I appreciate you, man. I can't wait till we can fist bump in person, but until then, digital bumps. Oh man, your fists look cooler than mine. I do have one ring though. This is a Aura ring. It tracks my sleep.
Does it?
Yeah. It tells me like how much sleep I get, like deep sleep and REM sleep and this, that, the other. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing. But like, how does it communicate with you?
It's got like these, let's see here. It's got these 3 little sensors. So I have to like charge it up and then it like tracks like, I don't know.
That's wild.
Tracks like heart rate and
okay.
Which then like correlates with like, lower heart rate is like deeper sleep.
That's
cool. It's like fascinating. So like sometimes I'll wake up and it has like an app. And so I'll open up the app and it'll tell me how well I slept. And if I haven't gotten like 7 hours of sleep, I just go back to sleep.
That's amazing.
And like, it'll tell me my sleep score. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's dope. All in a ring.
Functional. Yeah.
Functional.
Not as cool as your rings, but yeah.
That's like an Inspector Gadget ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or exactly. It's like a serious, deep, like CIA, FBI spy ring, but tracks your sleep.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
All right, man. I don't know how and where to stop, but thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Blake.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link one more time in the comments. If you haven't gotten Joseph's Reggie card, the link's in the comments right now. You got like probably about 2 more days, I think, to get it, right? Something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Dope, man. And what about your companions? Where should people go to like find those?
JK5shop.com, and there's going to be some new offerings very soon with the next few drops. There's a lot in the works, people. More and more and more, actually. And I'm just being really patient because, you can only reveal things in their time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the next companion will be coming soon, and it sort of picks up where the 4th one left off, which was the introduction to my Flowbot universe, which is based on a series of action figures that I did with Kid Robot in 2007, like I said.
Yeah.
And the first guy is the student, like internal student of the universe, inner child, inner creator, kid creactivator, Flowvex with pencils and crayons for arms. And 5 is going to be the Ghost Elf Knight of chivalry and design.
I love a good Ghost Elf Knight.
Big caliber.
Yes. And then what about like, I know you got some NFT projects that are cooking.
Yes.
Where should people stay in the loop to figure out where those are going to be launched and when? Is it an email list?
I would say just stay tuned to my Instagram, all my social media.
Okay.
JK5 on my email list, which I hope you all do,
Yep.
because there's all kinds of direct special treatments and all my announcements, and that's a steady flow. Yep. Once you're on that list, you can get on that list by going to jk5shop.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the more the merrier. Thank you all for your love, and I'm bringing it hard and deep with Project 70. So stay tuned. And the NFTs, all that information is forthcoming.
Cool, man. Can't wait. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Is 5th coming? Sorry,
5th coming. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have an excellent weekend. Stay safe. Happy Easter, and I'll see you guys next week. And stay awesome.
Thank you, Blake. You too, brother.
Yeah.
Much love, everybody.
For sure.
Peace.
Boom.